Somehow it is Monday already, and this weekend absolutely flew by. I went to estate sales, neighborhood sales, church rummage sales, you name it. There's a bunch of cool stuff here on the table that we'll take a look at, and we'll also go over some sales in the Ephemera store and a couple sales out of the Everything store. Haven't had a lot of sales recently. Things have kind of slowed down here now that it's summer and kids are out of school and people are just on vacation doing stuff. They're not sitting home looking for stuff on eBay like they would in the winter as much. But let's take a look at some of these things on the table because there's some really cool finds. Some really cool stuff here on the table, and a lot of it's going to be hard for me to get rid of. But let's jump right in and take a look at some of these finds here. So this is a TI 84 Plus, and I may have overpaid for this. It's $10, but it came with the CD, it came with the manual, and the inside of it was clean. There's no batteries, so there was no corrosion inside. I honestly don't know what these are going for because I haven't found any yet this year, but I'll put a comp up on the screen. Hopefully it's worth more than the $10 that I paid. Same house had these GameCube games. And it's funny because I was actually at this house last year and bought their GameCube. And the GameCube came with one of those Game Boy adapters on the bottom, but they didn't have the disc. And unfortunately, they still didn't have that disc. But they brought out two more games, and for $5 a piece, I figured I would grab them. Here's a cool piece that I spotted at a garage sale as soon as I pulled up. I immediately knew what this was because I've had this as a kid, and it's pretty rare. I've never found another one of these in the wild. This is the Tomb of Doom, and it's made by Tonka. So a pretty rare piece. Obviously not complete. They didn't have any extra stuff with it. Would have had a skull, I think, that sits in the top, and then there was a casket down here that would spin. It had like a hologram in it, I think. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I've seen this. But I still have my own from when I was a kid. It's in my parents' attic somewhere, and I'm almost tempted to go over there today and dig it out and see if I can find all the pieces. But I'll put the comps up here on the screen for this because it can go for a lot of money. Complete or incomplete. People are looking for this piece because it is pretty rare. And this one's in great shape, although, obviously incomplete, but no cracks, no breaks in it, just some scuffs that I should be able to easily clean up. But really happy to find this one for only $2 at a garage sale. In all my years of picking, I have never found a Flowbee. This is the first one that I've ever found. It was $10. This was at an estate sale. And I did look at it just briefly. I'm pretty sure it was really disgusting. Yeah, there's hair and whatnot in there. Pretty gross spider web. So we're going to have to bring this outside with an air compressor and blast it off. Get it nice and cleaned up. But $10, I grabbed it because I'm pretty sure these still sell for a lot of money. I haven't looked them up in years, but I'll put a comp up on the screen. Really cool to have the original box as well. So pretty happy about this. First time ever finding the legendary Flowbee. Same house, that estate sale, they had this Lubra plate, super low high viscosity motor oil. I've never found this can before, and I'm going to keep this one because it's pretty cool looking. I'll have it up there with the rest of my oil cans. But this was only $1. It's still full. Bottom looks pretty good, and I'm sure the top will clean up a little bit. It's got some scuffs on it, but that's okay. Pretty cool to have found that piece. Same house for a very, very good price was this hen on a nest. And we were talking about this waiting in line, me and a few other people talking about how Pyrex is going through the roof and how these hen on a nest pieces were going through the roof. So only $10. This one is, I want to say it was Capri Blue, and it was an L.E. Smith. So it's not on the high end of these. Some of these can go for a lot of money, but I'll put the comp up here on the screen for this piece right here. Grab this Wonder Boom speaker here, little Bluetooth speaker for only 50 cents. These still sell, I think they sell pretty well. They're good little speakers. I bought one for my wife years ago, and she uses it at the pool. And it sounds pretty good for what it is, so I had to grab it for only 50 cents. Back to the estate sale. Here's a $5 camera, and I already ordered the charger for it because this did not come with a charger. And this one has like a proprietary USB connection right there on the bottom. It's a Sony. It is model number DSCW120. I'll put the comps up on the screen for this. So like I said, this came with a battery, but I needed the charger, so I've got a Castar charger on the way. It should do pretty well. Same estate sale for only $8. This Ken Onion Edition Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener. When I was cashing out, the guy said, "Hold on, I got the manual for it too right here." So really happy about that. I did test it. It does work. It's in pretty good shape. I think the belt might need to be replaced, but other than that, it should do pretty well. I'll put the comps up here on the screen for this. Really, really happy to find this for only at an estate sale. This is something I've never found before. It's a lamp with an electric meter on it. It's got a Westinghouse meter on it. It was only 15 bucks. And there's comps that are into the 1 to 150. I'll put one up here on the screen and let you know what these can go for. But they don't sell a lot. There's a lot of these on eBay and not a whole lot that have sold. So I want to say it's going to depend on what type of meter is in this thing. That's going to maybe drive the value. But what's really cool is when you turn this thing on, the meter inside spins, which I thought was awesome. So really cool little piece here. It's like completely silent, really interesting. I've never seen one of these before. So for only 15 bucks, I had to grab it. I love buying these Drill Doctor drill sharpeners. And this one came out of that estate sale. And originally it was 20 bucks, which was a little bit too much for me to spend on this. So second day of the sale, half off day, I went back and it was still there. So I picked this Model 500 up for only 10 bucks. And I'll put the comps up here on the screen so you can see what this one is worth. I don't typically find this model very often, but for 10 bucks, it's totally worth picking up. So this is a rising boombox. I've never heard of this brand before. It's made in Japan. It says 2020 on there, so I'm not sure if that's the model number. I'll have to flip this around and take a look. But it's in kind of rough shape. It's definitely been sitting in someone's garage. You can see the buttons are all pretty rough looking. The antenna is taped onto the back, and I think this actually would have had two antennas. So yeah, the antenna was just taped on, unfortunately, and broken off. But you can see it originally came with two antennas on the top. And here's the information tag here. It's a rising model SRC 2015, made in Japan. And I know nothing about these, so I don't know. Drop me a comment. Have you ever found one of these things before? It's heavy too. This thing weighs like 15 pounds. So I'll put up a comp here on the screen if I can find one for this rising. I don't know what the 2020 means. I mean, I'm pretty sure this wasn't made in 2020. So I don't know. You guys let me know what the heck is this thing and what does the 2020 mean? But most likely going to be sold. 4 parts are not working because it's just got too many scuffs and scrapes and then the broken antenna. And I don't even know if it works yet. I haven't even plugged it in. And now that I'm looking at it, I can see it's got a chunk broken on the bottom. But yeah, first time finding one of these rising boom boxes. One of the coolest things I found this weekend is this Tide kids car here, this old Porsche. I think it's from 1986. It's missing the steering wheel, but they said they do know where the steering wheel is. They just have to dig it out, and they were going to give me a call back on Monday. This is made by a company called Kingsbury Toys, and I think this will clean up pretty good. The only issues are going to be some scuffs, and then you can see some of the decals are peeling off. It's a little fender bender right there, and then the headlight stickers, which these are going to be next to impossible to find. But other than that, really good condition for only 25 bucks. It's a 6-volt car, I believe. It's got 3 pedals for whatever reason. Not sure why it's got 3. I'll have to test it out. I don't know. Is it a Porsche? Is it a 959 or is it a 911? It'd be cool if it was a 959, but I think it might just be a 911. Really clean underneath. Motor's still there. And I looked this up and I found a comp at Meekum where I'll put it up here. It was over 400 bucks. And I don't know, is this worth over 400 bucks? And do I have to keep it because it's pretty cool? It looks sick hanging up somewhere here in the garage. So I don't know if they do call me back and have the steering wheel and I can clean it up and it looks really good, I might keep this for a little while before I send it down the road because I've never seen another one of these and I probably never will. A few more pieces here from that estate sale. This one's a Phantom Husky trolling motor. It says it works. I haven't tested it out yet and I didn't even comp it, but for 10 bucks I figured it had to be worth it. It's obviously a little dirty and needs to be cleaned up, but I'll put a comp up here on the screen if I can find one. And sitting next to it is this Mantis tiller. I've had quite a few of these in the past. I've had the electric version. I've had the 4-stroke version with the Honda motor. And this is the 2-stroke model. Engine from the Kyoritz Corporation, which is the parent company of Echo. So Japanese motor, really high quality. And I've got it all taken apart here because I'm cleaning these pieces up. It came with the edger attachment. I'm getting the number off the carburetor so I can order a rebuild kit. Because although it runs really good. It more than likely had some ethanol fuel in it in the past, and when it's under full throttle, it bogs down a little bit. So if I'm going to take the carburetor all apart and clean it, I might as well get a rebuild kit and get this thing running really, really well. But these go for about $100 to $150, depending on their condition. This one will probably be closer to that higher number because it's got the edger and because it's in such good shape. Going over some solds here, we're just going to look at 4 sheets of ephemera that's going out, along with one item out of the everything store, and that is this halophane prismatic globe. I think I talked about this in a previous video. It's a really cool piece, really interesting texture to it, and it's got some very small chips. They're almost impossible to find with this style here, but I did zoom in with my phone in macro mode, and obviously mentioned it in the listing. So I got as many photos as I could of these little chips. But this one I listed 2 weeks ago for $129.99, and someone just sent me an offer that I accepted for $116.99 plus shipping. All right, taking a look at some of these ephemera pieces here. We're just going to go over 4 of them. They're all going to the same buyer, and I gave them a pretty good deal on these because they bought multiples and because I think all 4 of these have actually been sitting in this ephemera store since I started it back in October. But the first one they bought is this Beatleston and Wirtz paper here from 1902. And this one went for $28.12 plus shipping. Next piece they bought, there's actually 2 of them here. This is from the Citizens Brewing Corporation out of Albany, New York. This one's dated 1917. Signed by the second vice president. Sold for $75 plus shipping. The next one, also from Citizens Brewing, is from 1918. Also signed by the second vice president. And also sold for $75 plus shipping. Last one's really nice looking. I've got a bunch of these, and I've sold some of these into the $100-$150 price range. This is from the Oneida Brewing Company. Really nice looking letterhead on this one. This one's from 1903, and this one sold for $75 plus shipping. All right, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.